Welcome. This little video is just to get you quickly into your Laurier email account and functional so that you can start replying to the massive quantity of emails you're going to be receiving. First step, of course, is to boot up your laptop and connect to a network, either here at Laurier, in a coffee shop, at home. You get the idea. The next step is to notice when you open Firefox, there's two tabs that automatically come up: Laurier's Faculty of Ed and the MyLaurier splash screen. Well, let's log into MyLaurier. This username and password was sent to you by the registrar's office. And of course yours will be different from mine. But enter your username, enter your password, and you might notice your username is the first four characters of your last name and the last four digits of your student ID number. Or it'll be some mix of the last characters of your student ID number. Click Submit. For those of you that are a little more web aware, you'll notice that we are not looking at our email yet. We're looking at the MyLaurier.ca portal. In here, we can check our email, add drop courses, go to My Learning Space, search the library, add money to your one card, update your contact information, check your schedule, all sorts of other very interesting things. But right now we're going to check email. And this is opening another website. So for those of you that are a little more aware, you might realize that you could just enter the URL g.mylaurier.ca and it would take you right here. And again, because this is hosted by Google, we have to log in here at this point. So again, the username and the password. And this migrate my groupwise, you guys can ignore this. It's not relevant to you unless you were previously a student here at Laurier and you still have an active GroupWise email account. For most of you, that won't happen. So let's go ahead and log in. And for those of you that are familiar with Gmail, this is Gmail. It's branded for Laurier, but it is Gmail. And again, for those of you that are familiar with Gmail, stop the video now. You're there. For the rest of you, though, there's a lot of neat things you can do in here. But the important ones are you can look at your email. And we can see right here is the list of the emails that are in my inbox. And I'm going to pick one, open it up, and we're going to have a quick look at it. So there we go. The Learn 360 Essentials newsletter for April 2011. Yes, I haven't read a lot of old mail. Is here. I've looked at it. It's exciting. Let's go back to the inbox, hit the back button. If that's really a killer little email, I can select it and I can choose to archive it. I can mark it as spam. I can delete it. I can mark it as important. I can mark it as less important. I can move it to a folder. And this might be important actually for you when you start receiving emails from your partner school. You may want to put all those emails in a folder of their own. So if, for example, I were doing my placements at Empire Public School, oh look, I have a folder already here for Empire Public School. I can select Empire Public School and that email's now been moved. And if I go to Empire Public School, there's the email. So it's a quick way of going through sorting the important emails into folders that you want them to be in. Now, with this move to, if I wanted to create a new folder, I would simply go to Manage Labels and it'll prompt me for creating the new folder. I can also create labels and I can label these emails. I can also go through and I can mark them all as red. I can do, you guys can read, right? This last button here, by the way, is refresh. It just updates your whole email, looks for anything new that you might not have seen yet. And you notice here I've got a lot of emails sitting in this account, so if I want to scroll to the next window, I push the button there and it takes me to the next 50 emails. There we go. Now, over on the other side here, we have the folders that we would be dropping email, or we have the labels that we would be giving to emails, the folders where we drop them, contact lists, tasks, all that sort of jazz. Play with this stuff. You can also make phone calls, by the way, here, which is kind of cool. But the important thing right now is, let's say we want to make an email. So let's compose one. We're going to send it to, I don't know, let's send it to the IT guy. And you'll notice here, I've already sent emails to myself, so this email address comes up. I can just select it, and that's who it's going to. Remember, you can put more than one name in here. So if you're working in a group project, you can send an email to Tom and Mary and Paul and Annie and whoever else. You can put them all there. You can also CC people. For example, let's say you're handing something in to a professor via email, and you want to CC the other members of the group that created it so that they know it's been emailed in as well. You can add them to a CC list. The add BCC is a blind carbon copy or blind courtesy copy, depending on whether you are old enough to know what carbon paper is. What that does is it sends an email to the recipient that you list in the BCC without letting them see who else received the email. So if you wanted to send an email out to 1,000 people and make them all feel like it was only sent to them, put them all in the BCC. And as you all know, you type in a subject and you type in everything else. And you'll notice I have a signature already in here. This text that shows up in the email is what's referred to as my signature. It gives you all the contact information the recipient needs to know in order to get back to me. That can also be set up here by going into your options up on the top here in your MyLaurier. We'll go back to that in a second. So we've got all the stuff for the email. Just do test as the subject and we'll go ahead and click it and send it. And there it goes. It should show up in my inbox anytime now. If I want to go back and see what I've sent though, I can go click on the sent mail and there's a list, and there's that one we just sent off to me. So that's the basic functions of your email. I know this is quick, but I don't want this video to last forever. So let's go into our options just for a second. And let's do mail settings. The advantage of going in here and having a look around is that you can set up your MyLaurier email account to personalize it somewhat as to how you like to use email. Go through these windows, have a look at the stuff that's there. You can personalize, general stuff, labels. You can add other email accounts. For example, if you had a pre-existing Gmail account or a, Hotmail account or something like that, you can add that email from that account into your inbox in your mylaurier.ca email account. To add another email account, you would come down here and click on Add a Mail Account You Own. Or you can send mail as if it's from another account. You can change your filters. You can forward email from your MyLaurier account to another email account if you'd like. Follow the prompts down here. You can update your chat information, change that. You can do neat stuff with web clips. You can look at how your inbox looks, and you can even set offline options. Of course, offline mail is not supported by this particular browser, but this is how you will communicate electronically with the university. You will notice when you get into My Learning Space, there appears to be an email program in My Learning Space. It isn't an email program. It is simply a messaging routine that works only in My Learning Space. Do not assume that's email. It's not. This is the only one provided. Anyway, there you have it. Please play around, have a look, see what you can see, have fun, and I'll see you when you have problems.